Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another demo review video. Today, I'm going to be looking at Fer versus Liquid in the Challenger stage of the Major. Now, this was a matchup in which Imperial at the time were ranked 32nd on HLTV against a Liquid side at 13th in the world. And 9th of May 2022, this was a best of one in which Imperial won 16-10 on Inferno. This was a second round Swiss game, so it was teams that were already with an 0-1 record. And we saw Fer having a really exciting best of one. He ended up putting 27 frags down, 12 deaths, positive 15 KD difference, 110.2 ADR, and a 1.78 rating. Overall, we saw a lot from Fer in both the Challenger stage and the Legend stage, so what better way to encapture all of that than look right at the beginning and in the Challenger stage? There's the flash, the smoke going down, and the full commitments come through. There's still a couple of players to come out from this brackets position. Fer trying to see if he can get a couple of these trade frags off, and there it is. Gets it back to a couple of kills. Player up towards Key over Leech does go down, and Fer finds 3 on the pistol. This is so winnable now for Imperial. Thinking about another apartments lurk? Just trying to see if he could force those fights out to the open. Now, he does have bolts over towards that left-hand side of Moto. And smoke down towards the pit position. Give himself some cover to fight towards the site directly. Deal with Nitro. A lot of damage gets done. The trade frag comes through from Shox as well. So even though the round doesn't go the way of Imperial, that was a very good sequence from Fer. And Fer might get a flash over high for bolts. Try and peek down towards Banana. Deal with that first player. And that now offers up that 5-on-3 because Fallen was able to get an early pick in mid. Oh, another flash forward. He does spot for information and catches Naf right towards the bottom there. Even boost Fer up to the half wall, making no noise on that. So that could be the bait set up in mind. Liquid are trying to see if they can fight their way back in towards Banana, try and turn away from the flash. Must just trying to help out his teammate. A lot of damage does come down onto Nitro, and he ends up just falling back towards the site. Doesn't need to overpeak at all, can start hearing the footsteps, call in the rotates, they smoke down towards CT. The best that Fer can do from this point onwards is stay alive. Just waste as much time as possible, try and get some further damage down, and wait for those CT players to get in towards the position. The bomb gets dropped down to the open, that's Fer being able to get another frag, and ends up with a couple. Not quite the triple, and Vinny steals it away, but that's a very good force buy back with a lot of players staying alive and exactly what Imperial were looking for. How does he play this? Because obviously he's got no util. He chucked that all over to bolts, which has now been used. And just try and see if he can peek forward. Good flash. That forces off the angle. Tries to retreat, deals with the first and the second. So even though being completely blinded, the fact that he actually falls back, tries to back off and continues doing damage, keeps his life and just makes sure that Liquid don't overwhelm the bomb site with ease. Very good read here by Imperial. Now, there isn't a crazy amount of nades to slow down this push. Fallen does have another re-smoke that could go in towards that top of Banana position. Fer just trying to turn away from the nades. When does he keep his head back up on a swivel to look into the site directly? No one's checked the flower pots just yet. That's the first. Drop down, play the man advantage, and just bait the distraction. Allow his teammates to get as much as possible. Bolts eventually gets traded. You still got the man advantage. Fer thinking about aggressing just on the other side of the smoke. Even spams down Naf, just catching that pixel. And now Shox is the last one left. Stuck in towards a construction position. Fer and a teammate there, Vinny, have got in and around the construction position as of right now. And Shox just trying to see if he could play off one another. Fer now has the information. Smoke can go down. He's the one on the high HP, so try and engage onto the duel onto Shox, and that's another triple. We've seen a lot of key, impactful rounds here from Fer. And Fer and Bolts are expecting, or at least anticipating, that one of the Ts had slow-walked aggressively behind that smoke at the half wall. Shox just out on the other side, gonna molly bolt out to the open, and Fer's just there for the coverage. Make sure that it's very uncomfortable for Shox to find anything in that round. Yeah, now they know they could start fighting down from the bottom of Banana position, but this round's pretty much already over and done with. And Fallen's got the information that Nitro's playing out from long. Fer might be able to catch Nitro if he goes back towards brackets. That's the only way in which he gets caught off. A very tidy position, and that's the 14th kill. Fer just keeps adding to the tally. And Nitro trying to see if he can create some space. Flash comes in over the top. Try and see if he can bait off his teammate. Deals with Nitro. Got a leash to follow. Jeez, what a great multi-frag that was. Does get traded, but holds his own for as long as possible. A more aggressive setup this time around in from mid. Fer, lovely adjustment down there onto OC. Gets that 1-for-1 trade, and now just fights continuing to come through in mid. Getting into apartments really quickly here for Fer and FNX. Really pacing up the tempo and around like this. Shock's playing up on the balcony. Difficult angle to pre-aim. Let's see how Fur fights out in the situation. Oh, lovely. That just deletes Shocks. And even OC's going to fall. That's the site opened up completely. Smoked down Murdo. Almost nothing that Leech could do, but just get his head ripped again. Fur, a madman in this round. What a demo that was. And for Fur's perspective, I think we got a very good gauge of how he was able to do so well at this major. Looking at that City side, consistency. Multi-frag, multi-frag, multi-frag. Him and Bolts just being the lethal duo in the sense of the 2B players. And then come over towards T-side. A lot of lurking in the apartments. A lot of lurking in from Boiler. Catching off some of the sound cues. Trying to see if they can catch maybe a Liquid player sleeping in a moment and making some of those slight mistakes. And getting closer to his 30 bomb towards the end of that demo. A very great performance coming through from Fur. And we saw not only in this demo, but across quite a few games in the major that Inferno was just his bread and butter. And if you want to maybe see more from Fur, if you want to see more demos from Imperial, please let me know down in the comments section below, and possibly I'll have a look at it again. See you later.